everyone. My name is Pi-Chuan. I am a software engineer at Google, and this year I am the mentor for Sydney Ernest, who is a sixth grader at GMS. Today I am not able to be here in person, so I'm recording this introduction in advance, and I want to introduce you to Sydney, who I've worked with for the past half year or so. She's very interested in cryptography, which is very interesting because at the beginning I thought maybe just something she's kind of curious about, but it turns out that she actually has read a lot about it, has already learned a lot about cryptography even when we first started. Today she's going to talk about her project and what she has learned in this mentorship.
Hi there, my name is Sydney Ernest and I'm currently a 6th grade student at GMS. My mentor. She loves dogs, she likes hiking and going to the gym, doing dance classes. She came from Taiwan and she works for Google as a software engineer. And this is her adorable dog, Caspian. What is cryptography? Cryptography is the art of writing and solving ciphers. It is a method of disguising a message so only the designated receiver can understand it. It is a simple method of changing each letter or word for another letter, number, or symbol or word. My project, Cryptography Decoder. I chose this project because I'm very interested in ciphers and encryption. I learned a new cipher and I've learned a bunch of debugging tricks. I know that patience is key, and I hope to continue learning Python. So we analyzed a letter frequency in a paragraph and plot it as a bar graph. As you can see, the letter E appears many more times than all the letters do, which makes sense because E is the most commonly used letter in the English language. The least common letters in English are Q, J, Z, and X, which as you can see in this chart, those letters were barely used. However, if we were to use a shorter sentence or paragraph, this analysis would definitely not be as accurate because English is somewhat inconsistent. The Caesar cipher. The Caesar cipher is one of the earliest known and simplest methods of encryption. It is a type of substitution cipher in which each letter in the text is shifted by a certain number of places down the alphabet. For example, with a shift of -3, D would be replaced by A, E would become B, and so on. This cipher was invented by Julius Caesar in around 58 BC, but was eventually cracked due to the unstable frequency of letters. The polyalphabetic cipher. This cipher is essentially the same as the Caesar cipher, but instead of applying one shift, you add multiple shifts. In order for this to work, the people sharing the message would first have to agree on a shift word, say snake. In this case, S, the first letter of the code word, is the 19th letter in the alphabet. N is the 13th, A is the 1st, K is the 11th, and E is the 5th. Then what they would do is the person who wants to encrypt the message would add the shift of each letter in this code word to the designated message to be encrypted. The person who wants to decrypt this message would subtract the shifts according to the code word. The one-time pad. This cipher evolved into the one-time pad, a cipher so powerful that even granted with all the computing power in this current world, this cipher would still not be able to be cracked. The one-time pad is a method of encryption that uses randomness to encrypt the message. First off, the two people sharing the message would have to agree on a long sequence of random shifts. The person generated by rolling a 26-sided dice. Then the person encrypting the message would apply that sequence of random shifts and send it openly to the other person without fear it would be cracked. What happened? For this project, I used a tool called Google Colab. It is a program that allows you to write and execute code and share it with your friends. I'll be demoing my Colab creation at my table. Then this is the video of my Colab. So I took a piece of text and I put it in, and I put with the shift of 0, and you can see E is the most frequent. And then if I was to shift this message by 3, then you would be shifted 3 letters down. So in this case, now it's H, and H is a lot higher than all the other letters. So it was cracked because if you were to graph it like this, you can tell how far away the highest frequency letter is from E. So this is now going to go to the one-time pad, which if you paste the text and you play it, since we used pseudo-random numbers, we had to repeat the message a bunch of times. And if you were to repeat it fewer times, the frequency would progressively be more unstable, and obviously it would be easier to crack the message, although it would still be pretty hard. Escape. Wait, it's stuck. What I learned. How to make a bar chart. You might recognize this graph from before, but you might be wondering, how did we make this? The code shown above was written by us. This piece of code creates a bar graph. It takes the data on how many letters there are in the text and plots it into the graph here. This piece of code makes sure that when you type your code and shift it, the shifted letters stay in the range of A to Z. Because even though it might seem obvious, some letters, if shifted, would become an emoji or a strange symbol because it's out of the A to Z range. So we actually shifted it and it became an emoji, and we were very confused. Some resources I used were Khan Academy, and this was my favorite because it had these really great comprehensive videos that anybody could learn. And I actually watched these when I was in 1st or 2nd grade, and Mom was like, "You won't understand this." And I actually did understand it, and here I am, and I still watch those videos. And another resource I used was Code Academy, which was great because it had these comprehensive steps, and it took you step by step through how to code a certain function or multiple functions. Yeah. And then we used How to Think Like a Computer Scientist, which was also helpful, and it had these great videos, and it explained how the for loop very well, which is great. Thank you.